a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for spending some time with us here. We got a great lineup for you today, per usual. And as you know, the Consumer Quarterback Show, we're going to be your consumer advocate, help you with your buying decisions here locally in Tampa Bay, kind of what sets us apart from some of the other programming here. Great programming on our channel, and we appreciate you supporting the local economy by supporting all of our expert contributors. You can do that by checking out consumerqb.com, and also you can hit the hotline as well, of course. We've got Dr. Scott Anderson in the house. He's back to talk again about the mental health crisis in America and some of the parenting styles, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the solutions today, as well as special guest. He brought a special guest, filmmaker and actress Deisi Del Toro, in studio with us as well. And we're going to dive deep into that. Got an upcoming film festival and a new movie launch as well. So we're going to dive into that with Deisi Del Toro from the family, the famous Del Toro family, Guillermo Del Toro. We're going to talk about that as well. Coming up here on the program, a little bit of real estate talk as well coming up with Bruce Woodburn, the loan arranger. From boardrooms to bedrooms, find out about the unprecedented pipeline of former office buildings that are being converted into apartment complexes. Interesting stuff coming up on the show here today. And I want to invite you. You are invited, our audience. I love to do this and get involvement from our community on our Third Thursday events. You know, we've been doing these Third Thursday events and having some really good engagement with our listening audience. So we thought, hey, let's keep it rolling. We're going to Hours Creole this time over in Tarpon Springs. It's Hours Creole Smokehouse over on Tarpon Avenue. Thursday, May 16th, 6 o'clock. We're going to be over at Hours Creole right there in Tarpon Springs. Now, what it's going to be is a great networking opportunity, fellowship. You're going to be able to meet some of our radio show personalities and come on out and mix it up. And we're going to have Alex Lima, Black Belt Fitness and Martial Arts. He's going to be kind of heading it up this time, running the event for us, as well as Abby from our real estate team, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. So bring all your questions or comments, concerns, anything you'd like to bring to that event, and also bring an appetite. So the food is awesome over here. This is New Orleans style food. Excellent food. We're going to be providing appetizers. We're going to buy a couple $100 worth of food. There's going to be an open bar, cash bar that is, not open bar,
big
cash
difference.
Bar, big difference. And so Alex, you're going to be hosting that one for us. Appreciate you stepping up.
Yeah, buddy. You just inspired me actually. When I hear my name in Hours Creole, I'm kind of thinking we're going to have to talk to Doug. Hear me out, right?
Yeah.
Crawfish and kickboxing.
There you go.
What do you
I like
think?
that. That's a good mix. Hey, good mix, man.
Yeah, you get some people partaking in adult beverages, and then crawfish and kickboxing. Sounds like a good time.
I don't know the order though. We'll have to figure out the order of that.
That's a good point. That's a great point.
We'll figure out the order on that one. But good stuff coming up there. So Third Thursday, May 16th, save the date. Come on out and join us, and we really appreciate you supporting all of our expert contributors. You know, we set up the show as a consumer advocate program about 11 years ago, and really cool. I just was interviewed yesterday by Florida Realtor Magazine, our industry's trade publication, and
how was that? How did that go?
Yeah, it was really awesome, man. I was surprised. I looked down, and it was like a 1 hour conversation about the growth of the show, how it started, the involvement, and a lot of it is from the perspective of business. For other realtors, you know, how can other realtors benefit from this?
Sure.
And I'm the type, I have the abundance mentality. I'm not trying to keep trade secrets to myself.
You can't. There's
for
so
the most
much.
part,
Even if you want to put everything in your pockets are going to overflow.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. It's true.
So we're abundant. You know, we have that abundance mentality, and it's just really helped out the Real Estate Quarterback Show. And then I talked a lot about how Lindsay, my wife Lindsay, coming on to the team about 4 or 5 years ago has just really been an exponential growth. And that exponential growth that you get from 1 + 1 equaling 11,000, right?
Once you get the right team players in place, man, that's how it happens. Yeah.
And even with the young kids, the advice we were giving out to the young kids last week about dating and the hookup culture. Mm-hmm. You know, when you find a wife and you find a family and you build that family, you nurture that, it's going to pay back dividends because that's God's plan. That's the way the Lord set it up. It's intelligent design when you have a man and a woman together and they're working towards a common goal.
Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right. That's right. So good stuff. So save that date. That's going to be Thursday the 16th, 6 o'clock over at Hours Creole Smokehouse, Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs. Come on out, and you'll get to meet a lot of our partners and real estate team as well over there at that. All right, here we go. A couple of hot listings. You know, we always feature our real estate properties live on air. The strategy equals more profit, more exposure for our real estate sellers. We are one of the only real estate programs that I know of in the country that does this. We feature our listings live on air, maximizing the exposure, the profit, and of course, being a daily show, it really adds a really tremendous amount to our real estate team and our bottom line for our sellers. So we got a hot listing here. This one's 6101 Bayside Drive, Newport Richey. $1 million listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3852 square feet. Got a quarter-acre lot here with beautiful lush palm trees. You are on the canal, so bring your boat, bring your jet skis. Enjoy that Florida living, that Florida lifestyle to the fullest. Of course, you have hurricane upgraded windows and doors. This one has a beautiful fireplace inside, open concept floor plan, just beautiful flooring. It's been almost completely remodeled. I think they touched almost every room in this home. And it's $1 million listing. Gulf Harbors, which is Newport Richey, Florida. Really awesome area. Get a lot of bang for your buck the further north you go in Tampa Bay. 6101 Bayside Drive, Newport Richey, Florida. Open house is going on this weekend as well. And we have a bar for sale also in Plant City, 5402 US Highway 92. This is the Finish Line Saloon in Plant City. This is really awesome. And yes, we do list vacant land, commercial properties, residential properties, and we would love to help you with yours. But this one has a coveted COP license. Now, this is a turnkey bar. You can also, with that licensing, you can sell packaged liquor. You can do on location events as long as it's in the same county. But we have a bar for sale in Plant City, Finish Line Saloon, 16 square feet, just over a quarter-acre lot right here in Tampa Bay, fully furnished. All fixtures and furniture come with it. You have 16 taps, ice machine, 4 flat screens, ATM, jukebox, and pool tables over there at 5402 US Highway 92, Plant City. And you can see all of our listings at platinumcoastalelite.com. Make sure you check out our website, bookmark the website, platinumcoastalelite.com. All right, Dr. Scott Anderson, I'll bring you in first and let you introduce our lovely guest in studio with us today.
Excellent. I appreciate it. I brought along Deisi Del Toro today to talk about a lot of the things that she has going on. We hope to do a little bit of collaboration with a couple things, but that we'll talk about at a later time. But for now, just wanted to bring her on, get her introduced, and let her kind of go over some of the things that she's going to be working on, what she's done, and she's a big, important part of the community, so we want to kind of add her over to Tampa, too.
I love it. I love it. Welcome to the show, Deisi.
Thank you for having me. I love coming out, especially to Tampa. I was just here a couple weeks ago. We had an amazing time by Clearwater, saw some dolphins. And, of course, in Tampa, the best food is here, so I love coming here.
Tampa Bay, one of the best places in the country to live, work, and play. There's so many reasons why people love Tampa Bay, Scott.
Oh, what's not to love? We're one of the best right now. We're one of the biggest growing cities and most desired and sought after in terms of people coming here to live.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, we're closed.
We're full, right?
We're full right now.
It's
Wait a little bit.
terrible
Let us develop a little more, and then you can come on in. But all kidding aside, it's a beautiful place to live.
Yeah, traffic-wise, we're full. But they did open that expressway up, so that'd be pretty cool to see how that plays out. Deisi, give us a little teaser of what you're going to talk about today.
Well, today I want to talk a little bit about a Hollywood Film Festival that I just started with an amazing group of people. It's a team effort. What we are doing is, I'm not sure how familiar you are, but of course there's Bollywood and then there's Hollywood.
Got it.
Bollywood is all about Indian culture, and they have done an amazing job for many, many centuries. And then you have Hollywood that also focuses a lot on the American culture and all the wonderful things that happen here in the USA.
Right.
So I decided to open it up to Hispanic nations with Hollywood.
Okay.
And what we're focusing on is inviting different people from different countries to provide us their projects so we can give awards and encourage more diversity in the entertainment industry. I've never seen a single movie from Peru. I'm from Mexico. I'm interested to find out what that culture is about. Brazil, I've never seen a single movie from Brazil. And I'm from Mexico, but I've lived most of my adult life in the USA. So I feel like there's a lack of connection with the rest of the outer world here. And that's what this film festival is going to focus on. I just started it this year. We already have quite a few submissions. We have a few full feature film comedies, and we have some music videos. So I'm really encouraging people, if they have always like dreamt of making a movie, I am looking to produce my third movie. And I want to use ideas outside of my own thoughts. So I'm looking for scripts. I'm looking for maybe a short film to turn into a feature film.
Nice.
I'm possibly considering looking at a movie that's already made and either remake it or make a part 2. Because I know when it's independent movies, sometimes they just require additional help financially or maybe just with a better team. So I learned that the hard way because I've produced 2 movies. And so now I know. Now I know what happens, right?
Right.
You learn, like, I
Trial
didn't
by
go to
fire.
school. I didn't go to school like my uncle. I mean, he started very young. And so my uncle Guillermo del Toro has produced about 44 movies now. He's working on Frankenstein right now. And I feel like, okay, I learned now through hard work and experience that it's not as easy as he makes it look, okay?
Sure.
It's very difficult to make a movie.
Right.
And that's why I decided to open it up and help other film producers, filmmakers, and give them a step up.
Yeah. And your first movie just came out, or you're...
My first movie is now on 6 platforms, including Amazon Prime. It's called Melt on This. And the first movie talks about the environment for actors and comedians in Florida and producers. So we talk a lot about independent movies and what happens here in Florida with the lack of support that we get from the government, tax breaks, things like that. So the movie is very, I don't want to say it's political. It's more like a stand for the entertainment industry here.
Sure.
Just inviting bigger projects. I've been an actress for about 13 years, and all I kept getting was like a happy mom at Disney. And I thought to myself, I'm pretty sure I have more acting skills than smiling and grabbing kids, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I would like to do some drama, maybe like jump on somebody and cry. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
get a little outside of the standards, because Georgia is really big with the film industry,
That's right.
especially over the last several years. And some of the big names are up there. They've really expanded their movie and production and TV up there.
So my activist move focuses literally on that. I'm working here. Both of the movies I've produced so far only talk about the talent. The second movie is about musicians, producers, different actors, personalities, and just the support that it takes for people to make their dreams come true. So I feel like I have done 2 movies about being an activist, and Follywood Film Festival follows that, but just opening myself up to other ideas rather than just as an activist, if you know what I mean. I want to be more creative, kind of like my uncle, because he is the one that inspired me to go into filmmaking to begin with.
What were some of his movies, in case people don't know?
If they don't know,
remember?
so he's won 3 Oscars. One of them was, I think you already mentioned it. I always say
Pan's Labyrinth.
Thank you.
Excellent
I always
film.
say it wrong.
Yes, technically classified as a foreign film, quote unquote, because it's in subtitles. It is a Spanish film. It is absolutely excellent. It's a dark, like a Hispanic fairy tale. It's a beautiful film to watch.
Yes, and he's so creative. And then there's the one that inspired me was The Shape of Water.
Mm-hmm.
When I watched that movie, I just cried in my living room, and I was like, that's right. If it's in the family, I can produce too. And that's how I even got into this whole mess of producing, which is like almost 5 years ago. But if you guys watch Melt on This, I act in that movie. I know I'm at least 45 pounds heavier, but it's a lot of stress. Now I see why my uncle keeps gaining weight like me. Don't judge me, okay?
Of course not. Of course not. Yeah, we wouldn't do that. We do have to take a break here, guys. We're going to go to break, coming back more with Dr. Scott Anderson and filmmaker and actress Deisi Del Toro here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check us out online. We'd love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes 1. Follow the YouTube channel as well, Consumer Quarterback Show. We're very close to hitting another milestone, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel there as well. And we'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
I want to give a special thanks to Satellite Phone Store. They just hooked me up with this beautiful satellite phone, and it's a gorgeous phone. It's a great device. It's a safety device as well. Think about it. If you're out on the boat 40, 50 miles out, maybe you're going hunting or you're going hiking in the woods somewhere, you run out of cell phone service, or who knows, maybe a possible terrorist attack. It's not like our politicians aren't entrenched in all this stuff going on overseas, all over the place, all over the world. Could be a terrorist attack. They could attack the power grid. They could attack the cell phones. Who knows what they're going to attack next? Sat123.com/REQB. Sat for satellite, sat123.com/REQB, like real estate quarterback.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, we're in studio here with filmmaker, actress Deisi Del Toro, as well as Dr. Scott Anderson, and we're going to jump right back into that content. Before we do, one of our hot listings here from the Platinum MVP team. It's 5642 Egrets Place, Newport Richey. This is a beautiful property, gated community. You have a beautiful home here with a brand new pool, waterfall feature on the pool, multiple balconies, pavers galore. Beautiful home here. 3 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, 3,000 square foot, quarter-acre lot, heated pool with waterfalls, elevator access from the garage as well. Primary suite has an ensuite, luxury tub, walk-in shower. Check out 5642 Egrets Place, Newport Richey, Florida. Another one of our beautiful 60-plus listings from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And you can see all of our listings at platinumcoastalelite.com. All right, we're going to go to Dr. Scott here, talk a little bit about this solution side of the mental health crisis, Dr. Scott.
Yeah, last week we were talking about parenting styles and how there's been kind of an epic failure with a lot of the parenting styles in the last 2 generations and what it's led to in terms of the crisis for children, the effects on them and their development. So I wanted to get to the actual solutions part, and I'm sure you'll enjoy this part. The fix, there is a fix to this, believe it or not. One is there is an ideal parenting style, and let's just get to that one.
Yeah, I love it.
That is the assertive, confident role model parenting. That's I coined that phrase, I guess.
I love that.
That's the best way to describe it. Role modeling parenting means that you become the person you want your child to be. You can't just tell a kid how to behave. You have to demonstrate how to behave. Kids don't do what you say, they do what you do. They become little mini yous. So unfortunately, a lot of the parents these days take an offhands approach to parenting. And that's what's led to the crisis that we have in the development. And a lot of these kids that are entitled, overindulged, spoiled, depressed, detached from reality, it's a difficult road to overcome. But here's the fix. In short, I narrowed it down to 8 because we limited it on time, but remove or limit the social media. Get off that screen time.
Big time.
You can't parent with an iPad. You have to get in touch with your kids and be hands-on and engage the child. This is a real important one, create routine, structured environment. Routine, structure, and discipline is crucial for the development of kids, especially for the first 5 years of life. You have to have consistent discipline.
Yes.
And accountability. Kids need to understand and learn boundaries and that there's consequences for their actions and accountability for it. That's really crucial. That's one of the most important, because if a kid doesn't learn to impulse control and delay gratification, the chances statistically go up tenfold for depression, truancy, delinquency, a drug addiction. It's almost guaranteed that there's
Right.
going to be problems. And then implement clearly defined rules. I see a lot of parents just parenting off the cuff when it comes to discipline.
Right.
You have to have very clearly defined rules that you go over with your kids regularly. Give them an opportunity to be successful by creating an environment that it's clearly defined in. They know what to expect, what to do to be successful, and what the consequences are if they don't.
Right.
And engage with children. I know you're really engaged with your child, and it's super important to be hands-on. Play with the child, engage with the child. Just don't stick them in front of the TV or the computer screen with the bright lights and flashy stuff.
Yep.
Actually engage them.
Yeah, exactly.
You
be
have
more
to-
hands-on. The more hands-on you can be.
Show them that you have an interest in them. You have to put them before the basketball game, before party time, or before your stuff. Children have to know that they're valuable and that they belong and be part of the family.
Yeah,
and you
especially
have to
the
show
girls,
them.
the young girls. If you're not, as a father, being that parental, that role model, she's going to attract the wrong people into her life, and it's going to lead to a lot of problems. When you first started talking about the assertive role modeling, it reminded me. So I'm a country boy. Everybody, a lot of people know I like country music. There's a song that came out. It just really hits you right here as a dad. It says something like, "I'm a good old boy trying to be a good old man. Raise them up right the best I can." And he says, "Raise them up right, yes sir, no ma'am." I mean, it starts a lot of times with the basics, right?
Sure. You have to. If you're not teaching morals and demonstrating those morals and values as a parent, you have to demonstrate that.
Right.
You have to become the person you want your child to be. Socialize your children with activities in the community. Connect them with spirituality, especially church involvement or spirituality.
Right.
Teach them cause and effect. That's what critical thinking is all about. You have to allow your child to feel discomfort. I know that's hard for a lot of parents. Allow your child to feel discomfort.
Yes.
You have to let them struggle at resolving their own problems.
Exactly.
So they learn to self-soothe, and they can learn critical thinking, and they can develop coping skills to get through with life.
Absolutely. I love that one. Let them fail, let them learn from their failure, and don't give them everything.
Don't let them
make it
physically
easy for them.
harmed, but certainly step in when it's appropriate.
Daisy, what's your thoughts on parenting?
I have 4 children. I have almost every age group, so I can have an honest opinion about everything you said. But I don't know if this radio allows it. So, I have very clear thoughts on all of this. I grew up in Mexico, and growing up over there, youngest of 11, I got to experience what it is for women to be overwhelmed with too many children, and the husbands having to work too much and not being able to be there. So, yes, if we're speaking in the USA, because I've raised all 4 of my children here in the US, and none of them speak Spanish, so when I take them to Mexico, it's always a struggle. But anyway, here in the US, my 19-year-old is a perfect example of, she is a perfect 50-50.
Sorry to interrupt. We're 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
We're running out of time.
50-50 with the father and myself. So I think they do learn by example. I think if you want just one clear saying, they learn exactly what they see, even if I said whatever I said.
Let's get the socials in so everybody can connect with you as well. Deisi Del Toro, filmmaker, actress. How do you want people to connect?
They can go to DeisiDelToro.com. That's spelled DeisiDelToro. Or they can also find me on social media or Google me, Deisi Del Toro, and you can find all my information on there.
All right, good stuff. Scott?
Excellent. Same with me. You can just Google me, and I pop up all over, especially on YouTube or TikTok and so on. I did want to bring forth, in terms of our men's health and men's wellness theme, we are putting on a social event, a men's cigar social at TBBC in Ybor City. It's the first Thursday of every month.
Cool. All right, good stuff. Daisy, pleasure meeting you. Thank you for coming in, and good luck on all that. That sounds really fun with the film festival and the movies. Dr. Scott, always a pleasure, buddy. Good seeing you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. All right, coming back, we're going to talk with Bruce Woodburn. We're going to talk about from boardrooms to bedrooms, find out about the latest real estate trends and more coming up. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. We're going to catch up with the Lone Ranger, Bruce Woodburn, here on the show, as well as coming up later, we've got our friend Cliff Gephart. You've heard him on the show before. Guard Dog Title Security, home title security. We're going to talk about that and some of the fraud happening out there and his solution for the industry. Before we do, a couple of hot listings here. We got a hot new listing at 18522 Gulf Boulevard. This is Indian Shores, $1 million listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I love this property. 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2,000 square feet, right on the beach. You walk out your front door, you walk past your community heated pool, and you are on the sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters of beautiful Pinellas County. 18522 Gulf Boulevard, Unit F, Indian Shores. And if you look out of your balcony to the right-hand side, you're looking at the intercoastal waterways and all the beautiful boats going by and the Tom Stewart Causeway. And if you look out to the left, of course, that's the Gulf of Mexico. Beautiful listing from the Platinum MVP team. 7325 Skybird Road, another one of our beautiful listings. This one's down in our southern part of our listening audience, down in Manatee County. This is Bradenton, Florida. This is 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 1-car garage. You have an open floor plan. 1520 square foot condo with lake views in Bradenton. Great opportunity to own real estate. Recent remodel on this property. Of course, you have the granite countertops, wood cabinets, stainless steel appliances, and a lot of updates to this beautiful property. Now, one of the amenities, my favorite part, is an 81-foot lagoon-style heated pool. You have a clubhouse, fitness center, catering kitchen, and more. Close proximity to the beautiful Gulf beaches as well. You can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. All right, Bruce Woodburn back on the Consumer Quarterback Show, our mortgage expert contributor. Bruce, give us an update from your perspective, sir.
Well, you know, it was a little rocky week in the market last week. We had some bond deterioration. You know, we're still fighting inflation. But last Thursday and Friday, we had a little bit of a recuperation on that. I think interest rates have kind of settled. I think they're going to improve just a little bit in the next week or so. You know, with this whole thing going on with, you know, the Gaza and Israel, it's hard to tell what direction things could go in. It's just a rocky market. I'm in what's called a locking bias, meaning I'm not playing games right now. I'm not advising clients to say, hey, just float for a little while. It's too volatile. However, I don't think we're going to see interest rates go much higher. They're still north of 7%, but you know, I am locking clients in the high 6s that want to pay a point or so. But I don't think that we're going to see any kind of drop in interest rates anytime soon, which, contrary to what people think, is actually the best buying opportunity. And I'm telling you, Brandon, people look at me like I'm from outer space when I say that. But think about this. Right now, let's just say there's 10 people that want to jump into the market. They need to buy a home, but they're afraid to because interest rates are higher. So they don't. So only 2 of the 10 actually jump into the market. That means that less people are seeing those listings. That's an opportunity for you to have time to negotiate, maybe closing costs, rate buy downs, all kinds of things like that. You know what interest rates were in 1971?
1971, is that when they were up around 12 to 18%?
Nope, they were 7.33%. What do you think they are averaging right now?
Right around that same number.
Do you know that if you waited for interest rates to drop, you would have waited 22 years and houses quadrupled during that time period? 4 times they went up. But you had to wait 22 years for rates to drop. So if you're listening to this show right now and you're one of those people that are like, oh, my God, I just don't want it. Listen, you're going to refinance. You're going to refinance when they hit 5.25. You're going to refinance it. We'll refinance it with no lender fees at Crosscountry Mortgage. Just call the Lone Ranger, 813-213-4009, or start your application at webringyouhome.com. It's webringyouhome.com. You know, there's so many incentives out there, and there's down payment assistance for people. I've got zero money down physician loans, jumbo loans, construction, rehab, you name it. The market is active right now. But I think buyers have a huge opportunity, and I think they're going to miss it. If you wait for rates to drop, what do you think is going to happen to housing prices?
Right.
I mean, we're already seeing a 6% appreciation. You're going to have a 15% appreciation if rates hit 5.5%. So don't wait. Do it now. The loan arranger and his team at Crosscountry Mortgage can help you. Brandon Rhymes and his team can help you find that perfect house. Just get your application going so Brandon and his team can negotiate for you. They'll go out and they'll fight for you. Brandon, his wife Lindsay, and her whole team will fight like mad dogs to get you the best price. Believe me, they will. So, but you got to start with a phone call and a loan application. So that's what I suggest. Hey, you asked me the other day about this whole President Biden is coming up with reduced FHA fees. So the fact of the matter is none of that is passed. They already reduced it a while back, but they reduced it by 0.05%. Come on, that's almost like a slap in the face. That's like saying I'm going to give you a free straw with your drink. So I don't understand what that means. And then this whole reform bill and tax credits and things like that, they're great, but the way they proposed it, it really looks better than it is. I think that there's better county, state programs that are going to do much better than a $5,000 tax credit for somebody. They don't see that. And even if it saved them a little bit of money, they still have to qualify at whatever today's rates are.
Right.
So,
Talk to me about sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask you, when you mentioned the down payment assistance programs, because I really like to bring those ideas out there because a lot of people overlook that, and some people are a little bit discouraged about the market. What are some of the best programs you've seen, and can you give us a recent example of a success story?
100%. I'm going to tell you something. If you are considering buying a home and the only thing in your way is your down payment, then stop what you're doing and get your application made at webringyouhome.com. So July 1st, Hometown Heroes is coming back out. They only have $100 million. Now, that money will last for 3 to 4 weeks tops because you don't have to be a hero anymore. Anybody can get it as long as you're a first-time home buyer, you got a 640 credit score, and you don't make more than $130,000 a year. Okay? And even with this program, Brandon, you can have a non-occupying co-borrower. So let's say you were struggling to buy that $400,000 house, but mom and dad were willing to co-sign,
right,
and they're already homeowners. This program allows for a current homeowner to be a co-signer as long as they're not going to occupy the property.
Yeah.
So it's win, and you get 5% of the loan amount. On $400,000, that's like $18,000 to $20,000.
It's a lot of money.
Great. But listen, Pinellas County, I got a client $50,000 in Pinellas County recently. Brevard County $50,000. Orange County $60,000. So we're doing down payment assistance programs all over the state of Florida. And if your credit and your cash to close are your issue, then get your application made. We'll consult with you on fixing your credit. You don't have to pay gobs of money to a credit repair company. Just come to a professional. Whatever you do, don't fix it yourself. I guarantee you will do more damage. I got people saying, oh, I should improve my score. I paid off and closed a whole bunch of accounts. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I'm trying to pay off an old collection, and I called the collection agency. Don't do that. Whatever you do, don't do that. It will renew the bad credit and bring it more current and will make things worse. Whatever you do, get with my team. We'll give you clear and concise instructions, and we will run each one of your debts through an analyzer through all 3 credit bureaus, and it tells you what to do with that particular card or debt, or it tells you whether you need to open up a couple of cards. So we do all that for our clients so we can help them. You know, Brandon, I even do that for clients that already qualify, but maybe they could go from a 675 credit score to a 725, and that could be an 8 1/4 point in interest rate.
Yeah.
So if I can get you a better interest rate, wouldn't you want that?
I like
but
that.
There's programs, Brandon, all over the state. You just got to know where to get them, and that is WeBringYouHome.com, 813-213-4009. Write it down. I'm the Lone Arranger. Not the Lone Ranger. I am the Lone Arranger. Cross-Country Mortgage, 35 years in this business. I am so passionate about helping first-time home buyers, and I know you are too. So let's do it. I don't think any of this Biden program is all, it's all a bunch of puffery. It's not really doing much.
To get headlines. Yes, to get headlines, right?
Since he's been in business, the housing market has literally come to not a standstill, but it's cut back by up to 60% since Biden's been in office.
Yeah.
And listen, the whole world, not just Florida, not just the United States, the entire globe revolves around our real estate economy. When our real estate economy is doing good, everyone in the world is making money. Right now, everybody's kind of dealing with inflation. Nobody's seeing a better paycheck. Things just aren't as good as they once were.
Yeah, so 2023 was the worst in nearly 30 years, according to Lawrence Yun, the chief economist for NAR. The worst in the home sales in 30 years in 2023. We're talking with Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Arranger. Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Arranger on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Bruce, real quick, I wanted to get your thoughts about this article I was teasing earlier in the show. From boardrooms to bedrooms, there's an unprecedented pipeline of former office buildings being converted into apartments, marking a four-fold increase since 2021 and set a record high of 55,000 plus units that were converted in 2024. What's your thoughts around that?
Well, first of all, we know why, because they can't rent these commercial buildings out because everybody wants to work from home now. So you don't need to have all this office space. So what are they going to do with it? They're going to convert it into apartments. So I understand people need affordable housing, but apartment living is 100% interest. Nothing goes towards you. Nothing goes. And the youngest generation have been taught to want to rent, that it's not worth buying. It's the biggest mistake. It's all fake news put on by these hedge funds that own these giant parcels of property, and they're making it convenient. They're putting theaters, gyms, pools, making these apartments so comfortable that the kids don't want to leave. Well, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to tell you it's better to rent than to buy. The thing is it's not. There's no such thing as a rich renter. You ask anybody, go around
commission-based advice.
Anybody that you know that's renting generally doesn't have any money in their bank. Not much, anyway. You talk to somebody that owns multiple properties, I guarantee you they're sitting on some cash.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
It just makes sense to own property.
All right, Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Arranger, Cross-Country Mortgage, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Give us your final thought and how people can connect.
Well, I tell you what, the final thought is buy now, refi later. Call Brandon Rhymes and his team. They'll hook you up with a great property. We'll get you fully pre-approved for your loan so you can go out there and make a confident offer. Matter of fact, if I fully approve your loan before you go shopping, I will guarantee the seller an on-time, smooth closing, or I'll pay them up to $500 a day. You're not going to get that from your bank. I will help you get the property along with Brandon and his team. Don't wait. 813-213-4009 or get your application started now at WeBringYouHome.com. It's WeBringYouHome.com. Brandon, you and I, we'll tag team this. We'll make those people happy. We'll get tears of laughter at the closing table. How about that?
I love it.
Tears of joy.
We love it. Good stuff, Bruce.
All right, Brandon. Thanks
Take care.
very much, and I look forward to working with you again soon.
Yes, sir.
Lindsay and I have several transactions we're working on right now helping your folks.
So. I love it. Good stuff. All right, Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Arranger. Likewise, buddy. Take care. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk with Cliff Gephart, Guard Dog Title, Home Title Security, coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We keep them out is the tagline there, and we're going to talk about some of this title fraud, what's happening out there, how you can protect yourself and your family from this very prevalent thing that's happening in the scams that are happening out there in the real estate market. Coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show, and
Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, Brandon Rhymes here, back in studio. We got Cliff Gephart in the house, Guard Dog Title Fraud Prevention Company here in Tampa Bay. I want to give a quick shout out to Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the show, replenishivsolutions.com. Check them out online. I love going in there a couple times a month, get my vitamin infusion drip directly into my bloodstream, boost my immunity, and you can too. replenishivsolutions.com. Tell them the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. All right, welcome back, Cliff. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me, man. I love joining you. It's always a pleasure coming and hanging out with you.
Awesome, man. Appreciate that. So, yeah, tell us a little bit more about, Guard Dog Title, the security side. But when you look at, this growing online scams, all these different things that are happening, it's a real threat to people.
It is. And it's been going on for a long time. It kind of started, a lot of people believe it started in Miami, where people would literally steal the title to your house. And there's this company out there, I won't name them because I don't want to be sued by them.
Yeah.
But they claim that they will monitor your security, and I've been in the title insurance business for like 25 years, and I watch this TV commercial, and the guy's like, "There's only one step that they have to get through, and that's the clerk of the court." And I watch it, and it just frustrates me because it's absolutely not true. It's absolutely not true. It is not. The last step is not the clerk of the court. The last step is the title agent that will issue a title policy to a lender in order to get a loan so the scumbag criminal can get money.
Right.
So the last line of defense is the title insurance office or the title insurance agent that's putting their license on the line and putting a title insurance policy to back the monies that they're giving out.
Right.
That's the true line of defense. So these companies that say, "Oh, well, give us like $15 a month," they're selling fear, but they're not selling a solution. So for like years, I've been looking at it. I'm like, it's not right. It's not. So we kind of came up with a way to implement a two-factor system. So to put the title insurance company, the banks, the lenders, everybody who may provide some sort of financial benefit to the thief, am I allowed to say scumbag on the radio?
I like it.
Okay. So we try to, instead of like the other company says, well, we'll let you know if somebody's broken into your house. Our approach is we're not going to let them in your front yard. Right. And we're going to put up a barrier that deters them from coming into your house and just move it on to your neighbor's house that's not protected by Guard Dog. And we do it by a two-factor verification system that literally came about in a way that it was by accident that we figured out how to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Great idea, Cliff, because it is a challenge. And I love the entrepreneurial thinking there, because when you're looking at these commercials or different places that you see the advertisement, most people wouldn't understand the details of it.
So here's what happens. Some scumbag, they go and record a fake deed with a notary stamp that they stole or they had made up or something like that, and then they record a fake mortgage satisfaction, and then they let it sit there for a while, maybe 6-9 months. And they also steal an ID of somebody. So there's some identity theft going on. There's fake documents, and then they walk into a bank or two. I saw you had the mortgage guy on right before this, and he gave some great information. But they go in and they're like, "Hey, we want to get a mortgage. We own this house free and clear." Somebody searches it. They're like, "Yeah, it's free and clear." But it's all fake. It's a fake person. It's a fake. The mortgage is still being paid, right. But in the public record, it doesn't show that. It just shows that there's a satisfaction.
Right.
So then they show up to a title office. They bring in an ID. The mortgage person's already said that they're good to go. They get the money. It gets wired to an account. It immediately bounces out of there and it's gone. And then everybody is left holding this bag, from the lender to the title insurance company, and the money's just gone.
Yeah.
And the stupid commercial says that the clerk is the last line of defense. It's not. It's that title insurance person that says, "Wait a second, I know I have an idea that says you're Brandon, and you look like it, but nobody would know." But Guard Dog puts a notice on people's houses that says, "Hey, this is the rightful owner." And then what we do is we, in conjunction with the homeowner, the rightful owner, with their knowledge, we record a document in one of the other 3,000 plus counties in America that the scumbag would have a very, very difficult time finding.
Right.
And only that person says, when the title insurance person says, "Oh, well, Brandon, it says you have this Guard Dog notice, and I've got to go find a document that was recorded the same time this one was." What county is that in? Only you would know, and Guard Dog would know.
I love it.
And when our servers, we don't even keep our computers tied to the internet. So nobody's going to come into there's nothing like that. So
wow.
And it's a one-time fee. It's not we drip and we vampire money out of you every month.
Nice. Okay, so it's a one-time fee. You sign up. Guard Dog Home Title Security. We're talking with Cliff Gephart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Man, Cliff, it seems foolproof, man.
It's $249.
Wow.
That's and that includes all the recordings. It handles everything, and the recording costs could be up to $100. So it's a small price to pay to not have to deal with the problem.
Yeah.
We're just our whole thought is let's not have you be robbed. And let's not have to go back and find your car or your jewelry or your guns that they stole from you. Yeah. Let's just keep them out.
Yeah, I love that. Man, foolproof idea. Cliff Gephart, Guard Dog Home Title Security, $249. What a great offer there. Reach out to the hotline if you'd like us to connect you, 727-263-3707. You can call or text the show hotline, 727-263-3707, and online at consumerqb.com. You can also submit an email there in case you're driving, you can't get to your phone. Consumerqb.com. Submit an email online, and we'll make sure we get right back to you before our head hits the pillow. And Cliff, I love the idea. I love the branding on there. The bulldog, you got the bulldog on front, and
I had that made by AI.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
First time I ever used AI.
Very cool. Yeah. That's a trend in real estate, I guess. A trend in a lot of places. I'm not sure what we're personally or as a team doing with it. I know some agents are doing some stuff with AI. There's pros and cons there, I believe.
The pro in this is I don't have to pay anybody any copyrights or anything like that.
Exactly. Makes it easy. Cliff, thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. All right, hey, what a great show today. We had Dr.Scott Anderson. He brought his special guest, Deisi Del Toro, filmmaker and actress. What a fun show today, Alex. It was really a good time. We had Bruce Woodburn on as well.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. Good people, good stuff.
Good people, good folks to follow. Guard Dog, of course. Make sure you get online and check that out. And check us out online. You can follow us at brandonRhymes1, at CQB Show. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're very close to hitting another milestone. So if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, it would really mean the world to us online at Consumer QB. You can find all the information. Just search Consumer Quarterback Show on YouTube and Rumble, and of course our podcast out there. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback,